Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India. On this day, June 20, 2021, Sunday, sleeping day for everybody. But I can't sleep. Sleeping is required for everybody. I don't sleep at this time. I get up early morning, and that's why I'm with you. Well, you are welcome to sleep, no problem. I can talk to air, I can talk to water, no issue. Quality and health, and topic is civil field engineering, COVID-19 and HSE engineer's role. Designs, construction, methods, all organization, communication, AnnexSL. All miscellaneous types of issues, but very important issues. Why big band quality, why big band health. Important points herein. And why do we have certificates? That's another question. Certificates like you're watching here. Certificate like you're watching here, Chartered Engineer India, as well as corporate membership, fellow. Why do we have this? We have these certificates to tell whole world. Actually, by these certificates, people know gadget declared by these certificates. Why I say gadget? Because these are formal certificates issued in every country for people of that country, and those people should know that this person is of this qualification or of this professional status. That's only indicatively I'm saying, because these certificates declare something that you can utilize this person for your work. This is up to that person then, what that person takes interest. Either is higher, one is hired, or one serves in capacity as employee, both ways. Well, I'm not going to do much on that. I'm just closing this because talking of this, otherwise with certificate I close this because of some reason. And now coming back to topic, and that is quality. I have added in this quality issue also SHE. SHE stands for safety, health and environment. Quality is one part of life. Simultaneously, safety, health, environment being three of other parts of life which are in one in three. If there is safety, that is a must. There must be safety, otherwise you can't stay. If you are not safe, very easy, means there is no need any explanation on this. One should be safe all time. That is basic requirement. Safe from every impact, adverse impact. Safety should be there. Whether you sleep or you work or you walk or you do whatever activity you do, whatever activity you perform, anything you perform, whatever action you can perform only if you are safe. And then comes H, that is health. Safe and being healthy. Healthy means you should be bodily healthy, you should be mentally healthy, you should be thinkingly healthy. I mean to say your thoughts should be healthy. And if whatever other point can be covered in health, you should have all those factors truly working for you. So can say health is another part of life. We used to say in past, if money is lost, nothing is lost. That was when I was too young. If you lose money, you lose nothing. If money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. health is lost, something is lost, and if character is lost, everything is lost. This was interpretation long back of human character, human health, human wealth. Wealth was considered lowest, means if you have lost wealth, you have lost nothing. Though it's not true, but it was in comparison to these three: health, wealth, and character. Health was number two, in middle. Wealth was at down point. That no problem, you have lost wealth, you shall get it, don't worry. And character was very important point. If you lose character, you lose everything. So you can say wealth, health, and character. WHC. WHC was very important point in those days. But now I think wealth is number one. People don't have any value for character in general. How life has reversed. Those people who don't have character, they don't mind. Okay, no problem. And health, of course, health is very important. Everyone wants to be healthy. So, the wealth is number one, health is number two, and character doesn't mean anything in this age of educated class, intellectuals class, and those who want to lead society generally do not have any character. Character, I mean to say, you can lie anytime, you can lie whatever. There is no truth on your speech. You are on mobile and you can speak 100 lies. Nobody minds. Means mobile is one equipment, is gadget. Mobile has been very mobile. Mobile has acted as top mobile to train people to lie. Really surprising. Character is lost in work, character is lost in personal life, character is lost in family life, and in fact, leave all asides, character is lost in your social life, your national life, and in fact in international life. So character has gone to deep minus, you can say not zero, but in depth of minus. And that's the reason I think degradation has started everywhere. Because wealth, you can rob, of course, you can do bank robbery, you can do whatever you want for purpose of health, you can do corruption, you can go to whatever extent to make wealth for you, money for you. And this is what's happening now in whole world. I'm not talking of our country alone. Our country is super in that. But there are many countries, many political leaders, many others, business people, who have only one aim: to have wealth. And this is my status, this is my wealth. I am number one, I am number two, I am top 20. Means that type of comparison which has nothing to do with real life. We know wealth is required, but it should not be a competition. But it is. People don't ask character. If you are wealthy, means your character is also wealthy. You can say automatically it's understood. Though it's a crime, but who bothers about crime? So if you have wealth, you are everything. You have everything. If you have health, it's better, they say. I am wealthy also. Though all wealthy are not healthy generally. Very few good people, you can say lucky people, who have wealth, they are not having good health in general. But if they have good health, okay, God bless them. Then you can say character. And that's what I am saying. Character has become very unbecoming. Character of all classes, I am not saying some classes, from top to bottom, in that hierarchy, everyone has become to some extent characterless. You can say 98% people have become characterless. Only 2% maybe still because of God's wishes. All can't be dirty fish. One or two good fishes are also required. Just like we say, one bad fish spoils whole reservoir of fishes water. And if there are two good people, they may also change whole reservoir, but that is not heard. I'm giving this example because it all constitutes quality of life. These 3 points are very important in addition to quality, because quality of all these points is also to be discussed. Quality of safety, quality of health, quality of environment, and then many other points that can be covered into that, how to control them. COVID-19 has come. 19 number is given to this. I don't know how it happened. It because of year 19 this has happened. But whatever happens, it happens. Nobody planned to give COVID-19, but name has gone now in history. It is there. And it shall work, certainly. Though you may not be interested in knowing this, but I just try to tell what is meaning of number 1 and what is meaning of number 9. It is now soul science. I am telling you a little brief. 1 number tells entry and exit, authority, lead or trail, while 9 number tells first of all fire, its second meaning is struggle, and its third meaning is delay, its fourth meaning is non-analytical or synthetic, and then it is, you can say, amalgamated, no solution. Number 9, there are two combinations of this now. It has entered to delay everything. It has entered to set fire everything. It has entered to, you can say, amalgamate everything. It doesn't require any analysis. It doesn't permit any analysis. And there is no analysis till now. It is more than 1.5 years. Whole world, scientists, doctors, all could not analyze it properly. Scientifically they analyzed, but they have not reached any conclusion till now. Even its identification is not properly established. So number 9 and number 1. Number 1 says, I am here, don't worry. 1 to 9, 9 to 1. This means in between 1 and 9 there is a relation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this will cover whole journey from 1 to 9. This means now it is 21, 22, 23, like that, up to 9. This is my just, reference talk. It doesn't mean that I am claiming anything. Why I am telling? Because of safety of people. Quality in safety, I am saying. Safety of world is very important. Safety of each individual is very important. Safety means we should be safe from ill impacts of such disease, and we have to remain healthy. Means there is a relation between safety and health here. If you are safe by resorting to means of PPE, all that, no need explanation. Personal protective equipment like mask, like Googles. Social distancing, of course, that is different, but most important is mask. Cover of your nose and mouth and eyes. Again I am saying nose, mouth, eyes. Nose, lips and eyes. People generally have ignored eyes. Though eyes will not impact others, but eyes can impact individual. The speed with which this virus enters into eyes is 50 times than the speed with which it enters into nose and mouth. Mouth means mouth doesn't receive it but exhales it. When you spit out or you speak or cough, it goes into a ear. But nose directly accepts it. So cover of nose and mouth are very important. Mouth means lips, and cover of eyes. These, if you do, this is, you can say, face covers. You shall be safe from direct impact of COVID-19. Everybody knows this, but generally people don't know about eyes. That's why I'm trying to include here. Safety of eyes is very important. Even if you are not having I number glass, you can use some other glass, zero glass or Google. Don't don't be careless about eyes. It's very important point. And you want to be safe, then there are other major inputs for safety. What to take, what to have intact with means I mean, you take in intake water, you intake hot water, like that you everybody know. Don't eat, you know, if somebody doesn't use glove in market and cook something for you, don't eat that. Means that's not, very explanatory point, but you have to try to avoid transmission through hand. Even if there's a confectioner or there is some other person selling something in market, even a five-star hotel, doesn't matter. So if they are not five-star, doesn't mean that they are safe. They are very conscious. So safety is very important point. If you are safe, you have to maintain health. Even if you are safe from all these impacts and your health deteriorates due to whatever reason, you won't be happy. And while COVID-19 impacts health, it impacts mind. Fortunately or unfortunately, you can say, it is a double attacker. It doesn't affect your health, only body health, below mind. It affects your mind also, and that is major problem. Effect of mind on mind. And when effect of mind means you can't think or you cannot think and require time, or that's a major problem. I'm not doctor, I don't know all that, but it affects minds, or you can say health you have to preserve all time. If you are not healthy, you cannot survive, you cannot do work, you cannot talk, you cannot write, you cannot think, and that's health. The important point is quality of safety, quality of health, and then environment. See, environments means in your own existence, there is one environment, that is social environment, that is your family environment, that is your state environment or national environment. This is another environment, and there's one physical environment by nature, air, water, and all that. I'm talking of both environment. If you are not safe, if you are not healthy, certainly you shall not have good environment. And if people around you are not healthy, you shall suffer further. Sometimes people are healthy, you are not healthy. That can be tackled because you say this is not for everybody. I am healthy, so I have to take medicine, and that medicine will help me, and it happens. But environment, if it's impacted upon, now this is environment. To be very frank, COVID-19 has impacted both social environment and environment. Socially, it has brought all to that point which are actually required. It has brought back everybody to home. People used not to come to home, stay outside, so that they enjoy life. Now, it's no use to stay outside. They have to come back to home and stay there with their kids. Kids' schools are over, closed. So kids too have problems. They can't have active life. They can't play. They can't enjoy. They have to study online. All monotonous operations. And same for those who work, that they have to come back, boy or girl, male or female, and they have to work from home. All this has created something else. So quality has to be considered in every field now. It's not engineering alone. Safety, health, and ergonomics, and before that environment. All these constitute everywhere, in every chapter of engineering. Without this, life cannot exist, and without engineering, life cannot exist. So you have to consider safety, health, and environment in totality, in integrity, in conjunction with each other, and of course, quality. So quality, health, safety, environment, you can say QSHE rather than saying something else. QSHE, quality, safety, health, environment. We have to combine those and talk of everything. Means when I say quality, it doesn't mean quality control alone. Quality in safety, how far you are safe. What is your quality of being safety? That you have to define. How you stay every day, how you use yourself, what you think about yourself, to what extent you are safe, to what extent you are safe in your home, you are safe in public, and you are safe in office. What is your health standard? Are you healthy, or you are having some diseases, chronic disease or something else, for which you have to avail treatment? And health is also maintained by activism, health activism. You what force do you allow on your body? Force from air, force from sun, force from other agencies. How much you can tolerate, what level of sweating you can tolerate, what level discomfort you can accept, and what level comfort you cannot allow to go. This means what is level of your luxurious life, that you have to define. To what level you can bring it down, and what level you can accept stress on your body. These two are important points, because comfort zone is always not good. Nowadays, most people, I mean to say middle class and high class people, they are used to only comfort zone. They don't know what is discomfort zone, like sun rays on your body, like hot wind on your face. They don't want all this. They want air conditioned accommodation. They want good cold drinks. They want to have all comforts. But they must realize ill impacts of those comforts on your body, because they don't feel there's ill impact, because they can enjoy, they can fall sick, they can go to doctor, spend money, take medicine. So for them, this has become a routine of life. You stay with doctor all time, talk, go visit or call on phone and have consultancy and buy medicine and enjoy life. So your life is added not healthy but medically supported as far as health is concerned. You are not healthy, guys. You are not healthy people. You are made healthy by force. You want to be made healthy by force, or you want to really have natural orientation health, natural enjoying health. And you can say environment. These both constitute environment. If your environment is polluted air, if your environment is tension in life, if your environment is a fall of economy, all these points are considered in that. So why say safety, health and environment and quality? If we jointly consider them, we'll find a long gap in stability of life. We can say stability of life. If your stability does not exist, you cannot do anything. Stability means you have to be safe, you have to be healthy, you have to be environment pro, you have to create environment in your society. And you should say that society is one, society is unit and not individual, because individual belongs to society, society does not belong to individual. If society is healthy, society is safe, automatically individual shall be safe. Individuality is measured in many terms. I'm not saying you're not educated. You may be educated, but you are academically educated. You are not nationally educated. You do not have understanding of nation. You do not have understanding of world. What you understand that money is everything, status is everything. That's not correct. Money is everything, yes, for something it is, for some time it is. But if you die, money cannot help you. Money cannot bring back your health. Money cannot bring back your life. Doctor also raises his hand when it happens. I'm sorry, it is in God's control. So God's control is more important than money. Try to understand. God's control is greater than money control, and health control is greater than money control, and you can say a mixture of everything, which you may call character, or how a person behaves or conducts in all parts of life. You can define that character. So my summation is quality in all these fields of safety, health, environment, and work, you may say. Safety, health, environment, and work, or what you do in your life. All these must be clubbed together so that it doesn't look isolated. You should not say, oh no, you're talking about SHE. No, SHE is not isolated. SHE applies at every point in life, just like quality applies at every point in life. We are not taught that, but we have to teach ourselves. We have to self-teach what is about that. Apart from what what academics teaches us, what profession requires from us. Forget that. That is your job. In profession, you have to do whatever is required. I am no one to teach you that. Quality is required. Health and safety is required. Environment is required. Everything is required there because you are paid there. There is no question you won't do that, you have to do that. But where there is no compulsion in society, don't forget that society was well made long back when joint family system worked. People were inactive, they used to sit, but advanced computer has spoiled that existence, and that pinches now. When I say COVID-19 issue, you know what I mean to say. COVID-19 has become very good professor for everybody, as well as a killer for millions, for crores. There is no scientific system in our country to explain what happened, how many lost their lives, how many have been impacted. We can't trust data because that data has no explanation. Government data has no explanation. But my talk is not about that. My talk is that whatever is factual, we do not know, must know. This means there is no quality in data organization, and people don't question because people don't believe in data. People believe in fiction. People believe in faith. People believe in trust. But trust has become, you can say, untrust. Trust has gone, but name exists. Truth has gone, but false word exists. Honesty has gone, dishonesty exists. Speaking lies is dominating. Fake standards dominate. There was a time when people used to walk a lot in whatever time of day, whenever they could, in hot or in cold, morning or evening or day. They used to talk, meet people, interact, which was good. I still remember when I was kid or adolescent, we used to call corner debates, corner talks everywhere. When people used to stand, for example, same age or same qualification, people used to stand at somewhere in their street or somewhere in shop. They used to talk and interact together. They did not talk about something, either politics they used to talk, or education they used to talk, or they used to talk of some newspaper, or they used to talk some knowledge areas. And it was good because of interaction with each other, understanding with each other, acquiring or giving knowledge to others or take from others. And that was good because there was no medium except radio in those days. No television, nothing, no internet, forget everything. But people were internet, temporary internet. People used to know each other by face and by personal experience. There was you can say, no gap in society. What happened in neighborhood, they knew. Who was what level, they knew. How much one could understand, they knew. Because they interacted with each other. About self-teaching, if there's some problem, they should talk. I could not understand this numerical, or I could not understand this theorem. They used to explain to each other. That means it was some of miscellaneous types of interaction. It was not for all time. Maybe just after taking food, you come out or talk to people. Maybe half an hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or in garden somewhere sitting. This was a different kind of cohesive society, you could say. Cohesive means where all are same and inbuilt, interact to each other, intersect. That was, different time. It was not health alone. They were safe in society. They were healthy in understanding. And environment was good because they created it by interaction. That has gone. Something has come in which is temporary, which is not cohesive, and of course, which is not leading one. This shall not stay permanently. I can't believe that. It will go away. COVID-19 has brought us to same level sometimes. I think that way. It has brought us to certain level, which we can say is becoming one. It told us indirectly, better stay together, have some interaction with your own people, concentrate on information, concentration in home. Okay, do job, but don't run away from other responsibilities. Don't depend in openness. Go be closed. Don't waste time in restaurants. Don't go to hotels. And better, stay limited with your budget. Don't waste time in world tours for nothing. You see, there are so many people here, millions who claim that they could not live better had they not availed what to every year to go to some part of world. Those people are also not availing that facility because of so many reasons. Economy is down, people are out of employment. That's another ill will, of course, you can say, but controllable. Because if you consider only money part in your life, you cannot think. First of all, money shall not allow you to think. You can't think. And if you only believe in money by whatever way, by whatever means I get it, to be a standard one, to have status one, then you know what I mean. This money shall spoil you. Money, if you steal or rob or get through ill means, yes, it is for you, you think so, but in fact, this is not for your soul, this is not for your heart, this is only for your physique. Now, I am not condemning money. No, I am not condemning money. I am condemning that status when money doesn't help you. Money cannot save your life. Money can be used only to some extent. It can give you chance to have good status of wealth. You can buy good car, you can buy good house, you can construct good house, you can have other facilities which everybody cannot afford. That is money. But there are so many cases now that people having billions of rupees could not escape COVID-19. COVID-19 has captured them. COVID-19 has prosecuted them to death. I would say it happened. COVID-19 has acted like a institution of justice. Institution of justice. It doesn't care for anything. It acts and kills those it wants to kill. Even if you have taken precautions, if you are not safe, you can be a guest to COVID-19. COVID-19 has changed entire world, and still it has been working. It's not stopped. Forget waves, first wave, second wave, third wave. These are continuous waves. These are waves of tornado. These are waves of the tsunami. These are waves of high wavelength, short wavelength. These are not going to stop. I call them continuous waves. Yes, there can be some gap because of maintenance of waves. You may say that. But rise and fall is already there. Sine curve or whatever other curve, or parabolic curve or this curve or that curve, whatever curve you can say, COVID-19 has been traveling on. It does not have any emotion. It does not think of anything. It just enters and hits you. You may be safe, you know, safe. It depends on severity of COVID-19, and it has taken millions lives, crores lives from world. Forget data. Data is always fabricated everywhere. No country is honest in data. No country all over the world. Because of political reasons, not because of real reasons. If they give down data, doesn't mean that they make saving out of that. But all politicians don't want to damage their name. All politicians of the world. I can say this. What data is there, how many have lost, I'm not going to stress on that. That's up to you. What I'm going to, that you have to consider now from onwards today. From today onwards, that life has to be analyzed. Life of society, life of everyone requires reanalysis, re-understanding what life is now, how it is moving, what way we can train it. That is where application of quality of life and application of H or SHE is required. So I try to just have little talk on that, which I'm making now. These parameters, this criteria of, as I said, quality, health, safety, etc., must be active in life and also in engineering life, which is support to ordinary life. It's a must. Even if you avoid this, you have to follow this. You are in job, you have to do job. And if people pay money, they must get quality. Their health must not be spoiled by some food they buy. They pay money, and it should be quality food. It should be quality education. It should be quality of everything you buy. That's what's important. If we do not comply with that, we can't survive. We can't move forward. COVID-19 is, you can say, teacher to everybody. All. You may say it's a God's message to everyone that change yourself. Change yourself. Come back to that point which I gave to you. Don't think I gave you points and you throw them. You cannot throw them. You have to do it one way. So world wants to live. Citizens want to live. You have to live only if you are safe, if you are healthy. If you want to live unhealthy, it's very terrible. Very terrible. So what I mean to say is, we have to be a little different now in life, in field of profession. and you can say in our thoughts. Forget that money can buy you everything. No, money cannot buy you health. That has been proven. Your health is not servant of money. Money is servant of your health. Money may support you, but it will not save you. It won't save you from death. Keep in mind, death or ultimate departure of everyone. That has to come one day, and we should wait for that day. Even if I say we should wait, shall we? That's not true, that's not applicable, because everybody forgets that to live. Everyone forgets that time just to live. I am living, and I want to live another 100 years. If you think like that, then you are a coward person. Be ready for that whole time to come. It would not come to you. Because you expect something, God will not fulfill that. But if you say, death is my friend, I can't live without this, shall you accept this? Yes, I can. Because every moment is death. That's also true. I'm not saying just body should cease. I say every moment is seized. Every moment passes away. Every moment. So I have to pass away one day. What's wrong? That's my right. I have to leave this world. Because I came to this world, I am not I'm an origin person of this world. I stayed like others stay. I have to go like when my date comes, I have to go. Who can stop you? This power to stop death doesn't exist on earth. For sure, it doesn't exist on earth. Where does it exist? I can't say. So what I say, quality, safety, health, environment and all this, then you can say quality has to be complied with defined requirement. No future if no quality. Similarly, I can say no future if no quality persists. Engineers must realize quality facts, and in particular, civil engineers have to change quality aspect of society, or else quality cannot exist. So what I say, design of structures and others must be decisive, safe and qualitative, and reliable for prosecution. So they should be decisive. Decisive means what? You have to make decisions considering all aspects of safety and material quality, work quality and all. That's point here. So you can say construction based on reasonable, coordinated, constructible quality. That was done before also. Quality in designs plus HSE must be taken into consideration while designing. It's must. What health level this project gives to society, what safety levels does it provide, and in what way environment can be improved by use of such materials or systems or technology. That all must come into picture, or else we only beat about bushes and nothing else. We only beat about bushes. We'll take care of HSC later on also. Now it is, as we discussed before long back, last time, about quality checks quality checks. We refer to many items of buildings, of structures. Those items can't be ignored. This is a small list only. This is a long list actually. And we talk of checklist and ITPs. ITPs means inspection and test plans, and checklist to check whatever is required. Whole structures, all structures, or architectural items or finishing items, all world items must be quality based. Even if you buy a small item, it should be quality based. It's not a question of what item it is, whatever item, because you are not getting it free of cost. You have to pay, and if your pay is not quality earning, certainly you won't mind about that. Oh, I made this money just for chance, so no problem, I can accept everything. If that thought comes to you or comes to one, we can never achieve quality. We can never achieve. We are talking of quality requirements of various activities. Those activities are repetitive. Even these are repetitive, these are not able, or these are not filled with quality because of ignorance, carelessness, or people don't bother. When you say people don't bother, that is very dangerous statement. People don't bother. Why don't you bother? My point is that if people don't bother, who shall bother? Question is also that. I'm not inclined to construction alone. It is a kind of universal talk, a universal statement I am making. Quality is for every item, everyone. I can't say it's only for engineering. No. Engineering is for everyone. That's right. You can't avoid engineering. It shall come into your life. Everywhere, engineering requires to be considered in that aspect. Make it clear that even if you don't work, you have to handle engineering somewhere. Without engineering, life doesn't move now. And engineering is defined as social development, national development. Even if it's not defined, it applies. It applies. Even with your ignorance, it applies. Because you use all products, all goods of development. You use products of engineering. Even if you buy something to eat in market, directly or indirectly, that is linked to engineering production. Somewhere. As I always say, they are basically, fundamentally speaking, there are three engineering titles, engineering degrees, which cannot be discarded. And these are civil, electrical, and mechanical. Civil engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering is just like food of life. Food of life it is. It's not food for a stomach. It's food for your life, without which you cannot move. If there is no place to walk, you have to walk on rough grounds, soil, which is not smooth journey. A smooth journey in a sense, you have to apply more efforts, first of all, and then you may not forget. For you, efforts may be something else, but even if you walk somewhere, you should know that you are walking on some engineering product. For example, a street or road, that is engineering product, and you walk on that. You drink water at your home, that is engineering product. Treatment, I mean to say, not water a product, but treatment of that and supply to you, that is engineering. You may see, whatever else in your home, you can see many items like mechanical. You may say it's hard to say there is no engineering. And engineering is a lifeline of everyone. Lifeline. Because I'm talking of engineering development, I'm talking of engineering activities. Maybe you are not interested in that, but you should be. You should be. Because information is best if you have. When I say many activities are there are. I explained to you about suspended slab last time, how slabs are important. Suspended. There was RCC, DJ generator alternators, all these, suspended slab. It was checklist for suspended slab concrete pour, and I said, this is ultimate. This is ultimate for accommodation, ultimate for living under. Columns were not ultimate, foundations were not ultimate, but slabs are ultimate, because slabs, once ready, allows you to use it under or use it over. Both ways. You can use these slabs by staying below them. You may say slab is my head, or you can say roof is on my head, because roof slab or slab, the roof slab is also slab. Suspended slab I call, that's the term of suspension, means these are hung. These are hung on some supports. These are hung on columns or walls, wherever. These are hung. Suspended slabs or slabs you can call, people call them lintel also, some people. I don't mind about what they call, but they should understand that they walk on that, they sleep below that, what sort of strength it should have, what sort of value should be given in its construction. That is very important point. If slab doesn't exist, you can't stay safe. Columns support slab or beams. So that way you can say support is more important because it produces that. Same way, beams support slabs, beams support staircase, and columns support all this. We should respect that support. But when I say slab, this is whole support. You can say a slab means support of columns, support of beams, support of foundations, everything, every structural part. If slab supports, is supported, but use of building is done by slabs. Without connections, you cannot move your life. If you want to see quality of slab, you have to open your mind and understand that you have or you shall spend money on that slab activity, and that money is your money. You want to destroy that money. That's why I'm saying your money, your life, everything is yours. This means you have to adopt quality. And SHE will adopt both. Every point is important in life. Every point. Quality, safety. We build slabs for those, and these slabs are used for decades to come. This is not a small item you produce for some months or some years, and you say, okay, I accept this 6 months warranty, 3 months warranty, and you accept that. I don't say don't accept that. Accept that. That's your item, your money. But you think that whatever slab you lay, that should stop next time. You spend your money, and if you don't have return of that, what do you feel? Your money has gone waste, or you abuse that person, that promoter who gave it to you, who sold to you. There are many points in such element or such component of a building that we call slab, that it should be properly done. Its preparatory works means its works of supporting system, its work of form lines, form sides, and then using reinforcement, including in concrete in all services in, we generate some point. So my dear, why I am stressing on this suspended slab? Either you be clear of this, you believe in quality, you try to have quality, or else this suspended slab shall suspend your life. It shall suspend your comfort. If you not have trust that this work has been overwhelmingly okay, overwhelmingly done by engineering system without any malpractice on that, then you will have full trust in your slab. But if you still think, no, I would think of other points also. I'm not happy with the slab, or I'm too happy with the slab. That can be different point to drag with. That's not my intention. My intention was that you should know what parameters are required and checked on slabs, lines, levels, supporting system, third party involvement if any, and then when everything is okay, it should be clean, tidy, and it should be well planned for purpose of concreting. It should be, in a way, you can say, completely professional, prosecuted. It should be. If you cannot do that, this was only reason I tried to reflect these points. For example, in this I say quantity of reinforcement bars and quality of reinforcement bars are very important. Then you can say pour plan. How do you want to pour it so that it should be professional pour? We can call it professional pour on professional work of preparation, professional form work, professional steel fabrication, and electrical professional items, first fix, second fix. Likewise, we can say all these are accommodated in slabs. And slabs are roof you had. I go to there is another one, and that is checklist for massive blocks, foundations for equipment, foundations for machines, which are also part of life, though it's not direct to you, but these support you. You get electricity, you get some machine parts, you get some machines, you get some equipment. These are directly or indirectly connected to foundations. Directly or indirectly. You are using generator also. Big generators you use, plants you use. Everything is yours. Everywhere concrete is involved. Concrete, which is, you can say, maximum used material in this world now. Concrete, which is an artificial stone. There is no place where it's not used. It is used everywhere. And this part we should take very seriously. If we don't take it seriously, we do not understand anything. How this works, how doesn't work, that's only point here. We have discussed many concrete pours, like how to prepare a surface or form a surface to start with. Which we call formation. Formation of whatever work we do. Whatever work we do, that work shall have a foundation, and that foundation starts at some formation. Formation. Formation means in what form you want to fill in that pit, in what form, a kind of format. So formation. And that formation is really base of work. It's kind of foundation of a foundation, you can say. Right? Foundation of a foundation is called formation. If we do not know formation, we can't do foundation. As said in engineering, foundation does not take any load but transfers load to soil below. It is understood like that. No foundation can take load but transfers load to strata below. The strata of soil that strata is very important. If I understand strata, I understand its power, its strength, working strength, or as many parameters I can get otherwise of soil and of concrete. If you know that soil water mobility is a question mark, because of mobility is a question mark, not otherwise. Understanding is always better. It's better to understand. If I make good formation doesn't mean excavation and dressing. It means I understand what sort of soil it is. Is it same for which design has been given, or it is different? Or I have to convert it to that level what it should be, or you can say strength it should give. If I can't find that formation which expected, then I have to think on that. And that thinking is that you have to improve more soil and place in that place some granular fill. Formation can be artificial also if you remove bad soil and refill with fill, good fill, granular fill. You can do that, and it improves formation level. So it's not that we are blind, we have to think how best we can improve it. You can improve by 300 mm or more, it depends what strength you go and get. So when I say concrete pouring, is very important part of that, because concrete pouring is not difficult, but difficult is once it is poured, it sets in and you can't take it out. We can't take it out. It's like, once it is done, it is done. No way out. Once it sets, it sets. Taking it out means huge losses. Huge losses. And doing it is easy, but doing it qualitatively is very difficult. It may be blinding concrete, it may be foundation concrete, it may be super concrete, superstructural concrete. Every concrete procedure, every concrete element is different. Everybody cannot understand until you are in field. You cannot understand. And even in field, many people don't understand. Concreting is done in many elements. As I said, blinding, footings, stuck columns, grade beams or plinth beams, flooring, computer system, where it is installed. There is if some people fight, what happens? One loses and one gains. If both are strong, what happens? They go on fighting. They don't stop. What do you want? What status do you want? This is what I'm saying. Quality is fight. You have to fight, not with quality, but with those who handle this. I was talking about some items of heavy concrete. Now here is, let us say, heavy compressor foundation concrete pour. It is heavy compressor foundation concrete pour. Maybe I don't remember talk to you before, but doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you talk it again or explain again. What's wrong with that? After all, it is practice that makes you stronger. So let us just briefly talk on this. I'm talking of compressor foundation concrete pour, and I'm sure that I must have some diagram there which you have seen. I'll go and sort the diagram out from my records for your knowledge. Let's watch that. It is compressor foundation. Yes, it is here. Now you can see sketch here. It will now that's clear to you, I think. Yes, it's clear to you. Now you can see this is a plan here of tabletop, and this is compressor area. This is a plan, and this is various grades of this tabletop, and this is your section of compressor base foundation. This section is different one. It's like a structure. You can see this line here. This is ground line here, and this is a foundation, big one. It's not ordinary foundation. It's very much complicated, massive block. What do you understand by this? This foundation is big one because of big machine which has to come here above this frame, compressor base frame. This means there are one plan for this should be, there's another plan for this should be, and there should be one plan for this. This is not small structure. This is heavy structure. Heavy in a sense, its weight is more than its requirement. Requirement is always different. and requirement depends upon what way you have to use it and how to allow it to be used safely with full indication on that. Now this is one pore, big one. This is another pore for these columns, you can see. This pore is for, you can say this pore below columns is this one. This is column pore and this is, you can say, tabletop pore. So there are three pores involved in this. Major pores, foundation, major pore, that is massive block. In columns is thick element, the major pore. You can see in these pores, if you consider correctly, I showed to you diagrams before also. Volume pore it is. If you say, let us take 400 cubic meter to be poured in this concrete itself, in this concrete, which is big quantity and weight. 400 cubic meter if I pour in this means you have to multiply by 2.5 tons. I will get 1000 tons of this foundation in earth, on soil. This pore is a little complicated. I shared with you before, and then column pore, which is also difficult, and then top pore, beam pore, which is further difficult. You can see this is, foundation, which applies here. On this, these are hollows, or you can say blockouts, and machine will rest on this through plates, and this you can say top plan with this grooves in, and this is bottom plan, and in between are columns, so there is no plan for that. You can see column in these voids here. These are columns, and this come in between. This is open plant. We have to understand these pores, these points. We have already discussed about cold joints are not accepted, never accepted, and flash setting is also not accepted. This pore, middle pore and top pore are very very important professional pores, controlled pores. Why I call this? Because you have to go to various specifications of concrete for this. Those are important one. We have to realize that fact as well. Important specifications. I sometimes shared that, but it is not complete. Those specifications, what should be, you know, process, what should be method to pour this type of construction, this type of component. Directionally, it's not difficult. And I did directionally. We have to see, first of all, what can I show you. Let me see if I can show you something of that. Hold on. Let me see if I can show that sketch. Is very important. And also somewhere 0 codes, I think it's maybe 0 codes, yes. Section 5 concrete. Let me explain one by one. Well, it's long specification. In fact, I'm trying to find a temperature zone. There's a lot of specification in this. I'm not trying to find that. All right, we'll talk about this. It's important also. Let's say. This is placing concrete is very important item. I will explain to you this, how to place it. So point here is we have to understand placing of concrete. Concrete is very important material and its placing is also technology. It's not easy to place it blindly. You can't place it blindly, and that's why I try to explain to you in little statement. I'll explain to you the mass concrete which I showed to you. This mass concrete here. That's what I'll explain to you about this. And meanwhile, you can say this is your compressor foundation. Before this, we go and see what this statement on specification says. Contractor shall obtain approval of engineer to his proposed arrangements before beginning concreting. This is very common. Placing and compacting of concrete shall be carried out under, let us say, 175. Do it. Contractor shall obtain approval of engineers to his proposed arrangements. Then all placing and compacting concrete shall be carried out under direct supervision of a competent member of contractor's staff with a minimum of 5 years of experience in concreting works. 5 years minimum. It can be 10, 15, doesn't matter. This means experienced person is required, that's demand of specification, and in a manner to produce a watertight concrete of maximum density and strength. It's a very important point. Watertight concrete of maximum density and strength. Night concreting operations, for that purpose, contractor shall arrange adequate suitable lighting for illumination purpose. Contractor shall provide safe, secure access for all personnel. Safe, secure access for all personnel. That is very much, expected. Safe, you can say secure access for all personnel on concreting operations. Where thickness of concrete section exceeds 600 mm. Where thickness of concrete exceeds 600 mm, contractor shall adopt special precautions to be approved by engineer to avoid thermal cracking due to external and core temperature differentials. Is a technical point here. Where thickness of concrete section exceeds 600 mm or 2 feet, you can say, contractor shall adopt special precautions to be approved by engineer to avoid thermal cracking due to external and core temperature or differentials. Temperature differential. Inside, what is temperature? Outside, what is temperature? If a foundation you call, what's inside temperature of foundation and what's outside temperature of foundation? There will be thermal gradient, and thermal cracking can happen due to that, and we have to avoid that. Concrete shall not be placed in adverse weather conditions such as dust storms or heavy rain. Now, what is preparation? No concrete shall be placed until engineer has inspected and approved in writing surfaces upon which concrete requires to be placed, formwork and reinforcing steel. Contractor shall give engineer at least 24 hours notice to enable this inspection. That's all this different conditions. 24 hours notice is required. If concrete is not placed within 24 hours of approval being given, approval shall be obtained again before concreting. This means previous approval automatically stands withdrawn. An inspection shall be made immediately prior to concreting to check cleanliness of forms. This means supplementary inspection. One inspection is for approval, then just before concrete, another inspection. This is procedure. So, it's only for procedure. All time engineers are there on site. Wood forms unless lined. Wood forms unless lined shall be oiled. Wood forms means plywood. If it's lined, okay. If it's not lined, it shall be oiled or wetted with water in advance of placing concrete so that joints shall tighten and prevent seepage of cement grout from mix. Reinforcement shall be sprayed with small amount of water prior to starting pour. Reinforcement shall be secured in position, inspected and accepted by engineer before placing concrete. All inserts and core bolts, sleeves and other embedded items shall be accurately located using templates where appropriate and held securely to prevent displacement during placing of concrete. Aluminum items shall be completely covered and protected when embedded in concrete. Except where shown on drawings, no fixtures shall be attached to concrete by short firing. Fixing is written, something wrong, short firing should be. Short fixing also you can say, or drilling without acceptance by engineer. No fixture shall be allowed. Notwithstanding any such authorization, contractor shall be responsible for all damage so caused to concrete and make good at his own expense. Water shall be removed from excavations. Water shall be removed from excavations before concrete is deposited. Flow of water, whatever flow of water, shall be diverted through proper side drains and be removed without washing over freshly deposited concrete. All dewatering works shall be continued as long as required. Dewatering activity must go on even during concrete. Hardened concrete debris and foreign materials shall be removed from interior of forms and from inner surfaces of mixing and conveying equipment. Runways or other means accepted by engineer shall be provided for wheeled equipment to convey concrete to points of deposit. Equipment used to deposit concrete shall not be wheeled over reinforcement, nor shall runways be supported on reinforcement. Before depositing new concrete or against concrete that has set, existing surfaces shall be thoroughly roughened and cleaned of latins, foreign matter and loose particle. Forms shall be retightened and existing surfaces slushed with a grout coat of mortar consisting of cement and fine aggregate in same proportion in mix, but not leaner than 1 part cement to 2 parts fine aggregate. After existing surface has been moistened, new concrete shall be placed before grout has attained initial set. Horizontal construction joints shall be given a brush coat of grout consisting of cement and fine aggregate in same proportion as concrete to be placed, followed by approximately 75 mm of concrete, 75 mm of concrete of regular mix. It says, again I repeat, horizontal construction joint shall be given a brush coat of grout consisting of cement and fine aggregate in same proportion as concrete to be placed, followed by approximately 75 mm of concrete of regular mix, except that proportion of coarse aggregate shall be reduced. High strength grout, high strength grout for precision support of machine base, high strength grout of precision support of machine base, and sole plates including equipment subject to thermal movement, tanks, column base plates, bridge seats, anchor bolts and dowels, etc., shall be a non-shrink, ready to use fluid precision grout material, proportioned, pre-mixed and packaged at factory, delivered to job site. Then you can say placing. What is placing? Well, let me read it again. This grouting issue is very important. High strength grout for precision support of machine base and sole plates, including equipment subject to thermal movement, tanks, columns, base plates, bridge seats, anchor bolts, and dowels, shall be non-shrink, ready to use, fluid precision grout material, proportioned, pre-mixed and packaged at factory, delivered to site to be placed with only addition of water, formwork and curing shall be as specified. So this is non-shrink, and this is used for below plates, thermal movement, tanks, sole plates, machine base and sole plates, tanks, column base plates, bridge seats, anchor bolts and dowels. Non-shrink it is, ready to use. Now what about placing? Let's say Concrete shall be placed in its final position before initial set has commenced and shall not be subsequently disturbed. All concrete shall be placed with minimum K. Pressing. Concrete shall be placed in its final position before initial set has commenced. Concrete shall be placed in its final position before initial set has commenced and shall not be subsequently disturbed. All concrete shall be placed within 15 minutes of mixing unless carried in purpose with agitators. Concrete shall be carefully placed in horizontal layers which shall be kept at an even height throughout work. Depth of layers and time between placement of layers shall be such that each layer can be properly merged into its preceding layer before initial set takes place. Depth of layer shall be determined from type of plant. Concrete shall be allowed to slide or flow down sloping surfaces directly into its final position from skips, down pipes, or other placing machines or devices. If this is not practical, it should be shoveled into position, care being taken to avoid separation of constituents. Material. Concrete placed in horizontal slabs from barrows or other tipping vehicles shall be tipped into face of previously placed concrete. Concrete dropped into place shall be dropped vertically. It shall not strike formwork between points of its discharge and its final place of in work. And except by approval of engineer, it shall not be dropped freely through a height greater than 1.5 meter. Chutes and conveyor belts shall be also designed so that there is no segregation or loss of motor and shall be provided with vertical tapered down pipe or other device to ensure that concrete is discharged vertically into place. Concrete shall not be placed in standing water in formwork. Concrete that has attained its initial set has contained its water content for more than 1.5 hours or 300 drum revolutions, whichever comes first, shall not be deposited in work. Important point is concrete that has attained its initial set or has contained its water content for more than 1.5 hours or 300 drum revolutions, whichever comes first, shall not be deposited in work. Cold weather conditions or cold weather concreting shall be in accordance with EN 1992-11 or Syria Report 67 and ACI 306. Hot weather concreting shall be in accordance with Part 15 of this section. Special care shall be taken to protect new concrete from harmful effect of drying winds. During wet weather, concrete shall be adequately protected as soon as it is in position. No concreting shall be carried out during periods of continuous heavy rain unless it is completely covered during mixing, transporting, and placing. No concrete shall be carried out during dust storms. Underwater placing of concrete is allowed only for unreinforced components, placing being affected exclusively with stationary trammies or with a bottom opening watertight boxes, and shall be in accordance with requirements of design or equivalent as accepted. Underwater concrete is to be placed Underwater concrete is to be placed continuously without interruption. Underwater concrete is to be placed continuously without interruption. For water depths up to 1 meter, concrete may be placed without trimming. For water depths up to 1 meter, concrete may be placed without trimming. In case of water depths exceeding 1 meter, concrete is to be placed in such a way that it does not fall freely through water. Tremmies must all time dip sufficiently far into freshly placed concrete to ensure that concrete emerging from tremmy does not come into contact with water. All work connected with placing of concrete under water shall be designed, directed, and inspected with due regard to local circumstances and purposes. Work shall not proceed unless all phases and methods to be used in placing operations have been accepted by engineer. Transportation and placing of concrete continues. Stops in concrete at end of period of work shall be made only at construction joint locations shown on drawings and or positions accepted. Where position of construction joints are not indicated on drawings, this may be assumed for estimating purposes to occur at 5 meters intervals in foundations and retaining walls, and at 1/3 to 1/4 of span in slabs and beams, subject to maximum spacing of approximately 9 meters. At construction joints, location of surface of completed concrete shall be prepared by spraying, wire brushing or chipping so that it's free from all latex, scum and loose material, and shows a slightly roughened texture and tips of coarse aggregate exposed. Before continuing concreting, exposed concrete face shall be thoroughly wetted. In ground floor slab, where ground bearing construction joints, crack inducer joints, contraction joints, and expansion joints. Again, I say in ground floor slab, where ground bearing construction joints, crack inducer joints, contraction joints, and expansion joints shall be incorporated into work as appropriate. Spacing of construction joints, crack induced joints, contraction joints, and expansion joints in water retaining structures shall be shown on design drawing. Where positions of or type of joints are not indicated on drawings in ground floor slab shall be cast in strips not more than 4 meter wide in alternating sequence across width of building. Swamp point, where position of types of joints are not indicated in drawings in ground floor slab shall be cast in strips not more than 4 meters wide in alternating sequence across width of building. Minimum of 3 days shall elapse between casting of adjacent strips. Within each strip, crack induced joint shall be provided at not more than 5 meter spacing, and contraction joints shall be provided at not more than 15 meter spacing. Across width of building, construction joints shall be provided between adjacent strips with contraction joints at every fourth construction joint. Where necessary and as required by engineer, water stops of a type acceptable to engineer shall be embedded in concrete. Water stop should be made of a high quality material which must retain its resilience through service life of structure for double function of movement and sealing. Surface of water stops should be carefully rounded to ensure tightness of joint even under heavy water pressure. To ensure a good tightness with or without movement of joints, water stops should be provided with anchor parts. Cross section of water stops should be determined in accordance with presumed maximum water pressure and joint movement. Complete works of fixed and welded connections must be carried out strictly in accordance with manufacturer's instructions. Engineer's acceptance shall be obtained by contractor prior to start of work on casting sequence and layout of joints. Water stops shall be carefully maintained in position prior to concreting on accurately profiled stop boards to create rigid connections. Type of water bar to be used shall suit joint and purpose according to water bar manufacturer's recommendations. Compaction: concrete shall be thoroughly compacted by vibration during operation of placing and thoroughly worked around reinforcement, around embedded fixtures and into corners or formwork to form a solid mass free from voids. When vibrators are used to compact concrete, vibration shall be applied continuously during placing of each batch of concrete until expulsion of air has practically ceased and is in a manner that does not promote segregation of constituents of concrete. Immersion type vibrators shall be capable of producing not less than 10,000 cycles per minute. Immersion type vibrators shall be capable to produce not less than 10,000 cycles per minute, and external vibrators not less than 3,000 cycles per minute. A sufficient number of vibrators in serviceable condition shall be on site to ensure that spare equipment is always available in event of breakdown. Immersion type vibrators shall be inserted into uncompacted concrete vertically and at regular intervals. Where uncompacted concrete is in layer above freshly compacted concrete, vibrators shall penetrate vertically for about 100 mm into previous layer. Vibrators shall not come into contact with reinforcement or formwork. Shall be drawn back slowly from mass concrete so as to leave no voids. Internal type vibrators shall not be placed in concrete in a random or haphazard manner, nor shall concrete be moved from one part of work to another by means of vibrator. Operators shall be trained in use of vibrators. Foremen shall have a minimum of 5 years of experience in supervision of placing concrete. Vibration of concrete shall not be applied by way of reinforcement. Compaction shall commence as soon as there is sufficient concrete to immerse vibrator and continue during placing operations, so that at no time shall there be a large volume of uncompacted concrete in formwork. Duration of vibration shall be limited to that required to produce satisfactory compaction without causing segregation. Vibration shall on no account be continued after water or excess grout has appeared on surface. During placing of reinforced concrete, a competent steel fixer and a competent carpenter shall be in attendance on each concreting gang. They shall ensure reinforcement embedded rating fittings. They shall ensure reinforcement embedded fittings and forms are kept in position as work proceeds. Continuity of concrete work. Wherever, whenever instructed by engineer, contractor shall carry out work in such a manner that placing of concrete in whatever particular section of structure shall be executed without interruption whatsoever from beginning to end of operation. Casting of concrete shall not begin until a sufficient quantity of approved material is at hand to ensure continuity of operation. Nor shall work begin until there is sufficient equipment in reserve in case of breakdown. This was some general methods given for this purpose. And we are not going to talk of formwork in this case. Quality assurance is there, but it is a batching plant. Now, it says, what about forms and materials of form? Say, wood material or other materials acceptable. That's very important point. Or you can say class of finishes. There are some classes of finishes. Timber trowel finish, the U4 class, it says unformed surface. There is no form on that. Unformed indicated by U. So U4 is timber trowel finish, U3 is steel trowel finish, U2 is brush finish, and U1 is other finish designated by engineer. Here we are saying timber trowel finish, that is U4, and steel trowel finish U3, and brush finish is U2, and U1 is other finish. Screed finish, where floor slab is to receive a screeded finish, slab shall be laid to slopes and levels shown on drawings, and top surface shall be damped whilst unset to produce a suitable keyed surface for receipt of appropriate finishing materials. Floated finish, where a floated finish is required to floor slab top surface, shall be leveled and floated whilst unset to an uniform finish to slopes and level shown on drawing. Floating shall be done in such a manner as not to bring an excess of mortar to surface. Dust-proof finish, where concrete surfaces are required to provide a dust-proof finish. These shall be treated with 2 coats of accepted material. Each coat shall be applied with a soft brush on a clean and dry surface in accordance with manufacturer's printed instructions. Non-slip finish. Concrete surfaces described in drawings as having a non-slip finish shall be treated with carborundum dust evenly sprinkled on whilst concrete is still grey at a rate of 1.5 kg per meter square and lightly troweled in before final finishing. Alternatively, carbonum dust may be incorporated into finish by means of a mechanical power float. Hardened finish, where a hardened finish is required to floor slab, these shall be treated with 3 coats of accepted material. Each coat shall be supplied with a soft brush on a clean and dry surface in accordance with manufacturer's printed instructions. Finishing unformed surfaces. Finishing unformed surfaces shall be tamped, floated, floated, troweled, or brushed as defined below. Type T damped surface shall be formed by leveling and damping concrete to produce a uniform plane or ridged surface. Surplus concrete being struck off by a straight edge immediately after compaction. It's also first stage of following finish. Type F floated surface shall be a uniform surface which has been walked on more than is necessary to remove screed marks by hand with a wood float or by power float of a type acceptable to engineer. Surface shall not be floated until concrete has hardened sufficiently. ST steel troweled shall be hard, smooth finish, free from trowel marks and formed with steel trowel under firm pressure. Troweling shall not commence until moisture film has disappeared and concrete has hardened sufficiently to prevent excess latence from being worked to surface. If latence is brought to surface, it shall be removed. Type BR's brush shall be formed before concrete has hardened by drawing a wire broom over concrete surface at right angles to traffic flow to give a average texture depth of 1 mm. For ground slab concrete shall be treated with sodium silicate or a similar dust preventive coatings. You can say this must be applied in accordance with manufacturer's instruction. This type of finish shall be specified in drawings or is directed by engineer before beginning any concrete pour with unformed surfaces. Contractor shall obtain confirmation of type of finish required from engineer. Initial finishing of unformed surfaces shall commence immediately after placing and compaction having effected. Suitable access roads or platforms shall be provided to allow access to all parts of uniform surfaces to be finished. Where a protective treatment or topping layers to be applied to concrete, manufacturer and suppliers' recommendations shall be followed concerning required finish. Brush to finish shall be obtained by carrying out a steel trial finish and then using a suitable stiff nylon brush dragged lightly across surface. Addition of small quantity of water to finish towel will be permitted to aid finishing. Small additional small quantity of water to finishing trowel will be permitted to aid finishing. Surface finish classifications. Finishes to form surfaces of concrete shall be classified as F1, F2, F3, or such other special finish as may be designated. Where class of finish is not designated, all internal concrete shall be finished to class 3 F3, External concrete below ground shall be finished to class F1, where surfaces are to be tanked by covering with paint or sheeting. Formwork shall be capable of achieving a finish suitable for proposed tanking as directed by engineer. Formwork material. Formwork for class 3 finish shall be lined with as large panels as possible of non-staining materials with a smooth, unblemished surface, such as sanded plywood or hard compressed fiber board, arranged in a uniform approved pattern and fixed to bag formwork by over nails. Same type of lining shall be used throughout any one structure or whatever structure. Unfaced route boarding or standard steel plate panel shall not be permitted. Formwork for class 2 finish shall be faced with route tongued and grooved boards or plywood arranged in uniform approved pattern, free from defects like to detract from appearance of surface. Formwork for class F1 finish shall be constructed of timber or of whatever suitable materials which will prevent loss of grout when concrete is vibrated. Exposed concrete surface finishes. Exposed concrete surfaces shall have a class F3 finish. Care shall be taken to ensure that finish to exposed concrete on external and internal surfaces are of highest quality to produce a smooth concrete surface of this means exposed concrete surface shall have a class F3 finish. Care shall be taken to ensure that finish to the exposed concrete on external surface are of highest quality to produce a smooth concrete surface of uniform texture and appearance without visible importance of grains, steppings or ridges. Resulting concrete shall be free from honeycombing, stains, fins, lipping, nails, and scrape marks, raised grain marks, or any other imperfections, and shall be of uniform surface, texture, and color. Only very minor surface blemishes caused by entrapping air or water will be accepted, provided that they do not exceed 0.5% by area of each square meter considered separately, and in addition they shall not be concentrated in a manner such that they are noticeable. Formwork to wetted surface of water retaining structure shall be class F3. All exposed concrete corners and edges shall have 20 or 25 mm chambers. Grooves in exposed concrete shall be formed by attaching tapered plank timber battens accurately aligned to face of formwork. Form ties shall conform to following requirements: factory fabricated, adjustable in length, use removable or snap off metal form ties designed to prevent formwork reflection and to prevent spalling concrete surfaces on removal. No metal shall be left closer than applicable level of cover to surface. Hole larger than 10 mm diameter in concrete surfaces when using snap ties shall not be permitted. Form ties shall have a factor of safety not less than 1.5. I will talk later on all this. The coating and accessories. Form coating shall be commercial formulation foam coating compounds that shall not bond with, stain or adversely affect concrete surfaces requiring bond or adhesion, nor impede wetting of surfaces to be cured shall be used. Use of foam coating shall be strictly in accordance with manufacturer's instruction. Formwork in contact with concrete shall be treated with a suitable non-staining mold oil to prevent adherence of concrete. Forms for exposed surfaces shall be coated with oil before reinforcement is placed. Form for unexposed surfaces may be thoroughly wetted. With water in lieu of oiling immediately before placing concrete except during freezing weather. Excessive oil of forms shall not be permitted in order to prevent discoloration of cement plaster. Where concrete surface is to be painted, form oil must not affect bond between concrete and paint. Care shall be taken to prevent oil from coming in contact with reinforcement or with concrete at construction joints. Oil or reinforcing steel shall be removed. Any oil or reinforcing steel shall be removed. Release agents shall not be used where concrete surfaces receive special finishes or applied coatings which may be affected by agent unless approved by engineer. Tapes to be used to seal joints of formwork panels for smooth finish concrete shall be plastic faced adhesive tape to approval of engineer. Precast concrete mold shall be rigid steel, wood or fiberglass mold. Flashing reglet shall be galvanized steel of longest possible length. We'll take up curing also. This let me go to one diagram which you were making before. This is about you know this diagram, this chart you can see. This is regarding how to pour massive block. You can see here. This is plan of concrete area, and this is section of that. Dimension can be whatever. Don't worry about that. This is 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, and this is also 2 meter, 2 meter, 2, like that. Just indicatively it is. So you can say in each step it is 9.6 cubic meter. In each step I am saying, not in sectional step. There are 50 steps in this. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. One here, and this 50 steps, and means if you multiply it by 9.6 by 50, you'll find that it's about 480 cubic meter. I think so, yes. 480 cubic. It's written here also 480 cubic meter. So total concrete is 480 cubic meter in this case, and there are this 2 meter deep, 400, 400, 400, 400. You can see in section. Each layer is 4 mm deep, 2 and wide, means 2 meter wide, 4.4 meter deep, and I think 12. Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 meters long. So 12 into 224 into 4, 96, 9.6 cubic each step. It's a good quantity, more than one mixer, one transient mixer. I think it takes 8 in one transient mixer. So there will be 60 deliveries of truck mixers, you can say. 60 deliveries. It's not small one, or one foundation. Small foundation, massive block. So what we do, we have quantity 480 cubic meter. We have each layer 9.6, and if we have speed of speed of, you can say, frequencies of delivery is 15 minutes each truck, 60 trucks, 8 cubic meter each. I will say 8 hours, I think. 8 hours will be consumed for every operation completely, and we require all these equipments. We need 8 vibrators, 6 numbers, masons 4 numbers, helpers 20 numbers, carpenters 4 numbers. In this case, this is just, we have 6 locations for pumps shown. You can see these locations, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, so 3 and 3, 6 locations. And there are similarly concrete trucks locations, 6 times, yes. So what's required is, we have to require, means we have to go this way or this way or both ways, this way, this way, this way, like that. We have to start with this 3 position, let's say pull up 1, and sequences are corner 1 here. Here this step is first, then this step, butting each other, then come on to this step and then go down this. Like this we have to move in this sequence or whatever sequence you agree with your engineer. That sequence you do, and such type of sequence is called a part of pour plan. You can say that this is pour plan, this is strip plan, this is strip plan, and this is foundation strip section. We have to lay 400 layer and vibrate it by immersion type of vibrator with 10,000 oscillations per minute, as discussed in specifications. And this has to move according to this sequence or whatever sequence agree. Only requirement is that there should be no cold joints formation. Cold joint formation is not permissible. You can, this is a kind of indicative method statement sketch. This must be, this was used as enclosure for concrete method statement, pour plan method statement, and this clearly tells what you are going to do. And it's given GGBS concrete requirement here, 70% replacement of OPC by GGBS, low shrinkage. Great. So let's do a little about, in this case, which is also very interesting. Very interesting. Let's go back a little more so we find here what's required. Curing. Curing, chemical curing compound shall be stored. Curing, after all, what's that important item, curing? Contractor shall ensure that curing is provided for 24 hours per day, including holidays, and that all necessary plant and labor resources are also available. Special attention shall be given to curing of vertical and overhanging surfaces to ensure satisfactory curing. Contractor shall adopt curing measures that preclude possibility of thermal shock to concrete during curing. Sorry, your voice here. This is a stool. I have to keep my leg on this stool for relaxing because my leg is not healthy. It's problematic. It swells. Sorry for that. Contractor shall adopt curing measures that preclude possibility of thermal shock to concrete during curing. This may be achieved by ensuring that the temperature of water used for curing does not differ from that of concrete by more than 15 degrees Celsius. Mind it, whatever temperature of concrete you have to cure, and temperature of water should not be more than 15 degrees of that. For example, surface of concrete is say 15 degrees, so water should be 30 degrees. This is important point. Curing shall continue for at least 7 days and until it attains a place compressive strength of concrete of at least 70% of specified compressive or flexural strength. Flexural strength, whichever period is longer. Curing shall not stop unless otherwise approved by engineer. When low water cement is used, concrete water cement is used, concrete shall be preferably cured by water. Water used for curing purposes shall conform to requirements of Part 4 of this section. General requirement: freshly placed concrete shall be protected from sun, wind, rain, exposure, and excessive drying out. All concrete shall be cured for a period of time required to obtain full specified strength, but not less than 7 consecutive days. All concrete shall be cured for a period of time required to obtain full specified strength, but not less than 7 consecutive days, maybe more. Method of curing shall be by water for first 7 days and by water or membrane until concrete has reached full specified strength. For mixtures with a low to zero bleeding rate, or in case of aggressively evaporative environment, or both, curing shall start at any time between the placement and final finishing of concrete. Curing shall be by reducing moisture loss from surface using fogging system and all use of evaporation reducers such as monomolecular water curing compound. Monomolecular water curing compound is called evaporation reducers. Exposed surfaces shall be protected from air blown contamination. Exposed surfaces shall be protected from air blown contamination until 28 days after concrete is placed. Method of curing shall ensure that sufficient moisture is present to complete hydration of cement and shall be to approval of engineer. Method of curing shall not disfigure permanently exposed surfaces, shall not affect bonding of subsequent coatings, shall not increase temperature of concrete. During curing period, exposed concrete surface shall be protected from direct rays of sun. When liquid membrane is used to cure concrete, it shall not be applied if bleeding water is present on surface of concrete. Applied film of liquid membrane shall be continuous and protected from rain and any damages for at least 14 days. Curing of formed surfaces. Formed surfaces including underside of beams, girders, supported slabs and like by moist curing with foams in place for full curing period or until foams are removed. When foams are stripped, curing shall continue by any approved method. When liquid membrane curing is used, it shall be applied immediately after deshuttering. In such cases, concrete surface shall be prepared prior to application of membrane as recommended by manufacturer. Water curing is not required when liquid membrane is used. Curing of unformed surfaces. Unformed surfaces shall be protected as soon as possible after concrete has been placed by polythene sheeting when sufficiently hard Hessian or other absorbent materials shall be placed on concrete surface and kept wet for required period. Hessian shall be overlaid with a sheet of 1000 gauge polythene to assist in retention of water. Alternatively, a curing method approved by engineer may be used. Once concrete is sufficiently hard, top exposed surface of walls, columns and beams shall be water cured and covered with wet Hessian for required curing period. Moisture curing shall be performed by covering surface of concrete with water and keeping it continuously wet. Continuous use of fine fog water spray covering surface with a saturated absorptive cover and keeping it continuously wet. Burlap, cotton mats and other absorbent materials can be used to hold water on horizontal or vertical surfaces. Wet straws or hay can be used for wet curing small areas, but there is a danger that wind might displace it unless it is held down with screen wire, burlap or other means. Where method is employed, bunch use shall not be made from fill from excavations or other areas where there is possibility of chloride contamination. Moisture retaining cover curing. Concrete surfaces shall be covered with a suitable absorptive covering such as wet Hessian. Absorptive covering shall be overlaid with a 1000 gauge polythene sheet. Cover shall be in widest practical widths and shall have 100 mm side and overlaps. Penetrations or tear in covering shall be repaired with same material and waterproof tape. Liquid membrane curing. Liquid membrane curing shall be in accordance with requirements of BS 7542 STM, C309 or C1315 when tested at rate of coverage used on job. ASTM C156 shall be used as a test method to evaluate water retention capability of liquid membrane forming compounds. ASTM C1151 provides an alternative laboratory test for determining efficiency of liquid membrane forming compounds. Membrane forming curing compounds shall be applied in accordance with manufacturer's recommendations immediately after any water sheen which may be developed after finishing has disappeared from surface and within 2 hours of stepping formwork or form surfaces. Membrane forming curing compound shall not be used on surfaces against which additional concrete or other materials to be bonded unless it's proven that curing compound will not prevent bond. Positive measures are taken to remove it completely from those areas which are to receive bonded applications on fair face concrete surfaces. Steam curing. An enclosure shall be formed around concrete using tarpaulin or other suitable means. Application of steam shall not be commenced until at least 2 hours after final placement of concrete. Steam shall be applied at a temperature between 65 to 80 degrees Celsius. Excessive rate of heating and cooling shall be prevented during steam curing and temperature in enclosure shall not be allowed to increase or decrease by more than 22 degrees Celsius per hour. Maximum steam temperature shall be maintained in enclosure. Maximum steam temperature shall be maintained in enclosure until concrete has reached its specified strength. Pavement and other slab on grounds we'll take up later on. Not a mass concrete, let's take. I think it should take batter, continuous batter now. Pavements and other slabs on ground. Curing shall ensure no plastic shrinkage crack will occur. This can be done by protective measures such as sun shields, wind breaks, evaporation reducers or fog spraying shall be initiated immediately to reduce evaporation. Mats used for curing can either be left in place and kept saturated for completion of curing, or can be subsequently replaced by a liquid membrane forming curing compound, plastic sheeting, reinforced paper to store water. Buildings, bridges, and other structures, additional curing shall be provided after removal of forms, after concrete has hardened and while the forms are still in place. On vertical and other formed surfaces, form ties may be loosened when damage to concrete will not occur, and water applied to run down on inside of forms to keep concrete wet. Care shall not be taken to prevent thermal shock and cracks when using water that is significantly cooler than concrete surface. Care shall be taken to prevent thermal shock and cracks when using water that is significantly cooler than concrete surface. Curing water shall not be more than about 11 degrees Celsius cooler than concrete. 11 degrees and there was 15. Remember, immediately following form work, removal surfaces shall be kept continuously wet by a water spray or water saturated fabric, or until membrane forming curing compound is applied. Mass concrete. Mass concrete. Mass concrete is often cured with water for additional cooling benefit in warm weather. However, this can be counterproductive when temperature gradient between warmer interior and cooler surface generates stress in concrete. Horizontal or sloping unformed surfaces of mass concrete can be maintained continuously wet by water spraying, wet sand, or water saturated fabric. For vertical and other formed surfaces, after concrete has hardened and forms are still in place, form ties may be loosened and water supplied to run down side of forms to keep concrete wet. Care shall be taken to prevent thermal shock and cracks when using water that is of significantly cooler than concrete surface. Curing water should not be more than about 11 degrees cooler than concrete. Curing shall start as soon as concrete has hardened sufficiently to prevent sufficient damage. For unreinforced massive sections not containing ground granulated blast furnace slag or pozzolanas, curing shall be continued for not less than 2 weeks, where ground granulated blast furnace slag or pozzolana is included in concrete. Minimum time for curing shall be not less than 3 weeks. For reinforced mass concrete, curing shall be continuous for a minimum of 7 days or until 70% of specified compressive strength is obtained. If strength is key, concrete performance criteria for construction joints, curing shall be continued until resumption of concrete placement or until required curing period is completed. Curing shall not stop until favorable differential temperature is attained and its approval of engineer. For mass concrete, thermocouples shall be used to monitor temperature differential of concrete. Thermocouples, I think you know about that. No, I don't know. Thermocouple, the reinforcement will take later on. Now I'm trying to get some information from web. Let me see, it's time 5. Oh, time is less now. Let me close this file, and I can say, let me close this diagram. Let me close this diagram as well. Let me close this as well. No, not this one. Let me close quality. Okay. Let me see if I can find something about thermocouples. Let me see if I can find something just for reference. It's a good one. It's thermocouples, if I can get you. Thermocouples. thermometers, thermocouples. Let's see, high pressure thermocouples, RTD counts. Thermocouples are these, you can see. A thermocouple is an electrical device considered two dissimilar electrical conductors forming an electrical junction. A thermocouple becomes this. So what's thermocouple and how does it work? Let me see what that. Oh my God, this is beating very, very quickly. They go to the side. Stay here. Fuck off यार, क्या करते हैं यार ये सारा दिखाने के लिए बदमाशी कर रहे हैं। जल्दी थोड़ा उसको thermocouple. Let me see what it says. What is thermocouple? A thermocouple is a sensor used to measure temperature. Thermocouples consist of two wire legs made from different metal. Wires legs are welded together at one end, creating a junction. This junction is where temperature is measured. When junction experiences change in temperature, a voltage is created. Voltage can then be interpreted using thermocouples reference tables to calculate temperature. There are many types of thermocouples, each with its own characteristics in terms of temperature range, durability, vibration, resistance, chemical resistance, and application compatibility. Type J, K, T, and E are base metals. Thermocouples, most common type of thermocouples, type R, S, and B thermocouples, noble metal thermocouples, which are used in high temperature applications. Thermocouples are used in many industrial, scientific, and OEM applications. They can be found in nearly all industrial markets: power generation, oil, gas, pharmaceutical, biotech, cement, paper, and pulp. Thermocouples are also used in everyday application like stoves, furnaces, and all that. Thermocouples, I like to show. Let me take, I think I should print it out for you people, because without that it's difficult to share. Let me do just a minute, please. I'm coming out, no problem. Let me see. I'll show you this one. That's important one at all. It's better to show you so that you can get something out of that. Because closing this last item, thermocouples on, and these items can say. Let me see if it comes in. It's coming. Good. It's coming. So I'll close. Let me see what's that. This is thermocouple, you can say, which is like this. As I said, this I spoke about. Before discussing various types of thermocouple, should note that thermocouple is often enclosed in a protective sheath to isolate it from local atmosphere. This protective sheath drastically reduces effects of corrosion. Now, type K thermocouple, nickel, chromium, nickel, aluminum. Type K is most common type of thermocouple. It's inexpensive, accurate, reliable, and has to wide temperature range. Temperature is thermocouple is that minus 270 to 1260 degrees Celsius. Extension wire is 32 0 to 200 degrees Celsius. Accuracy, whichever is greater, it's plus minus 2.2 Celsius or plus minus 0.75%. Special limits of error. Okay. Now type J. This is type K. You can see extension grade wire. Type K is most common, and this is type T, thermocouple grade wire. Copper, previously was nickel chromium, nickel aluminum, and this was type K, that is chromium, and now this is J, thermocouple copper constant. Type T is very stable thermocouple and is often used in extremely low temperature applications such as cryogenics or ultra low pressures. After that, its range is also thermocouple grade wire is minus 270 to 370 plus, and extension wire is 0 to 200. And of course then you can say E, type E, if you see This is type E thermocouple grade wire, which is nickel chromium constants. Type E has a stronger signal length, higher accuracy than type K. Type J at moderate temperature ranges, you can say temperature ranges -270 to 870 C, and extension wire 0 to 200 Celsius. Then you can say type N thermocouple grade wire, and this is type N is thermocouple nacelle. Type N share with same accuracy and temperature limit. Type K noble metal thermocouples, and we'll talk later on also this. This is thermocouple grade wire type N, then type S, type R, type B. We'll talk of this. It's very important item I got by chance. So we'll talk of this. I'll try to save this file better. Save as this file in my documents. Method statement is sketches. Book facilities on store. And I'll put in thermocouples in book facility stores. No problem. So save it, and we will see how to handle this later on. This is a good one. We'll take care of this. I'll explain all this now. I'll try to go to see. Already it is, I think, 2 minutes more. So let me just show you another view of this. This is from site thermocouples.com, an interesting one. So it says again, I explain. A thermocouple is a sensor used to measure temperature. Thermocouples consist of two wire legs made from different metals. Wire legs are welded together at one end, creating a junction. This junction is where temperature is measured. When junction experiences a change in temperature, a voltage is created. Voltage can then be interpreted using thermocouples reference tables. Let us see what is that. These are thermocouples reference tables. Here you can't see because may not be, you can say, you may not be able to see that, but no problem. I'll go back. So these tables, they accordingly we can say. So let me close this. Now we'll talk of later on. Now we'll go back to our talk, and important point that we have thermocouples. I close. Grounded thermocouples and various other thermocouples that we had seen in this. We have a good talk on this later on. Now there's no time for this. So we may say, I wish you all best for getting good idea on curing and other issues. As much as we go deep into such talks, we shall get more and more on this, I think. So I hope I close now, because we close it now and put on. You see how best we can jump on this. So thank you very much, gentle people. Thank you very much.